So as delivery systems, as distribution, as viewers really change the way that they're looking at watching TV content, the role of an agency is changing as well. We're really leaning heavily into the streaming space. We're looking at how audiences are driving outcomes, starting with advanced audiences, starting with segments that are delivered in ways that viewers are watching TV. That could be in linear, it could be in addressable, it can also be in streaming. And we're really leaning in heavily to starting with an audience and finding that audience everywhere because we believe it delivers better outcomes for our clients.
And so I've heard you say that not all ways of buying are created equal. Maybe you could elaborate a bit on that and what it really means.
As we're moving into a world where every impression is theoretically addressable or targetable against an audience, we get to a spot where there's not necessarily as big of a delineation anymore between brand and performance media, especially in an on-demand environment where every impression is tailored to that household. We have the ability to really understand not just how to build a brand and tell a story, but what is the ultimate impact that that actual discrete unit has on driving an outcome for a client. So we've moved away from a world where you have a brand budget and a performance budget to a world where every impression delivered is doing two jobs or more at once.
And then, so what does that mean for advertisers when you're discussing this with clients? Do you get any key questions or anything that people want to know more about? Or
I think what clients are looking to solve for, especially in a converged video space, is where the value creation is happening. Is the juice necessarily worth the squeeze when you start to add in third parties? DSPs, SSPs, audience data sets, all of these things get a little complicated if we can't prove to our clients why they're driving better outcomes for them. It's our job as a media agency and a modern media agency at that, not just to buy and place media anymore, but to really understand the value that these impressions have for our clients and help them understand these are the vendors that make sense, these are the buying pathways that make sense as we follow the viewer into a more connected environment.
And I mean, measurement can be very open-ended, but and can vary by client. But what kinds of metrics are we looking at, or that are very useful in this situation? And are you getting what you need out of the current state of metrics these days?
I think we're in a better position than we were over the last 18 months. I mean, you have heard me say this before.
Yeah.
All currency is measurement, not all measurement is currency. And that means that while we're able to transact on a set of metrics that's trusted between the buyer and seller, and that becomes how we actually reconcile against impression delivery, that doesn't necessarily mean that all the different types of measurement that we have the ability to access in the space should be used to reconcile against. Those secondary and tertiary measurement signals are really the ones that help our clients better understand the role of media in their mix. But at the end of the day, we do want to transact in a way that makes sense.
Okay, so now looking ahead, let's say the next 6 months to a year, is there anything that you're excited about, or perhaps would like to see change? Anything on your wish list? What can you tell us?
I'm really excited about how great the ecosystem has leaned in on the idea of interoperability and connectivity. We've done a lot of work really starting to pave the way for how systems and tools work together, and how build once, run anywhere creative in the living room can look more like the way we're used to. Everybody accepts a 30-second spot. Why doesn't everybody allow for some enhancement of that 30-second spot to make it work harder in the living room? So we've leaned in heavily with our media partners and tech partners to really help better navigate a fractured space and bring together some synergies and interoperability.
And so with interoperability, I presume you'll get more transparency out of that. Is that kind of the goal? Or
More transparency, more scale. Again, viewers are watching everywhere. Very few viewers only watch inside of one streaming service, so we need to be able to manage frequency and viewers' engagement with the brand across all.